Hi, Lee Farnell here from Leading Your Best Life. Thanks for listening. In this podcast, I want to share something I saw from Inc. magazine this morning, which is just such a good article. It says, according to Neuroscience, the best leaders are the most vulnerable. What the hell are they talking about, vulnerable? And what has it got to do with you or me? Have a listen to this. Welcome back. Well, if you're going to lead your best life, you're going to, at minimum, lead yourself. And in many cases, one way or another, you're going to be leading other people at work, leading other people in your family, leading other people in your community. And neuroscience tells us that the best leaders are the most vulnerable. What does that actually mean? Well, Paul J. Zak, and this is reported from the Harvard Business Review, it's in Inc. magazine today, talks about the neuroscience of trust. It delves into the role of oxytocin, which is a brain chemical around love, in regulating emotions and pro-social behaviours like trust, empathy, and positive communication. Oxytocin, super important. I mean, when we're around babies, our oxytocin kicks on. He identifies 8 key management behaviours that build trust. Here they go. 1, recognising excellence. 2, creating healthy challenges. 3, granting autonomy. 4, supporting job customisation. 5, sharing information openly. 6, nurturing relationships. 7, fostering personal growth. And last but not least, embracing vulnerability. Hey, aren't they 8 fantastic characteristics that if you're a leader going, okay, how well do I do each of those things? In fact, as I'm thinking about it, I really should build those into some leadership surveys because they're so critical. As I said, leaders in high trust workplaces ask for help from colleagues instead of just telling them to do things, says Zaks. Asking for help is effective because it taps into the natural human impulse to cooperate with others. Oh boy. Isn't that interesting? Brené Brown explains in her famous TED Talk, The Power of Vulnerability, being vulnerable leads to genuine connections with others. The reason for this is that vulnerability breeds honesty and authenticity. People want to follow a leader they can identify and connect with, not someone who shows him or herself as different or above. You know, I'm so great, I never make a mistake, I'm so much better than you, you guys are all making mistakes, but I'm a legend who never makes mistakes. Give me a break. In fact, you know, there's an organisation we've done some work with where there was a person behaving that way and the staff turnover is just incredible, and invariably all the good people leave first. And that's exactly what's happened in this case. This person blaming the staff, ego running absolutely rampant. That's a whole other story. Absolute lack of vulnerability. Yet I did a podcast on this a number of weeks ago. There was another manager there, as it worked out, a female manager, who immediately said, look, I'm learning with you guys. I need your help. Let's work together. And the same with Jim Collins in Good to Great. The relationship between discipline and standards and system and vision of where we're heading, and at the same time, humility and vulnerability. Hey, I'm in this with the rest of you guys, but I do stand for high performance. I do stand for, integrity. I do stand for great customer service. I do stand for respect for others. What do you stand for? In his new book, The Diary of a CEO, The 33 Laws for Business and Life, Stephen Bartlett calls it a negative manifestation. Negative manifestation. He says that looking at things from the perspective of what could go south can help you see red flags and identify future risks and predict anything else that may stand in the way of your success. So this is another part of leadership, being willing to look at the downside, look at all possible angles. What voices aren't we listening to here? Like, we got groupthink, everyone's just agreeing with me, or everyone's just agreeing with one person. Hang on, let's actually go counter-argument here. Let's just look at it from another angle for a second. Tell me where this might fail. Talk about it. It's very good. And then the other thing around questioning yourself. It's like, maybe this isn't going to work. How could we make it work better? How do we mitigate the risk? Hey, it really is a great article. And as it says, leadership isn't about having all the answers. It's about asking the right questions, both of yourself and those around you. Confidence is important. And when that's paired with openness and vulnerability, it can make all the difference. It keeps you humble, prepares you for life's inevitable curveballs, and most important, makes you an imperfect and vulnerable leader, one that's human, one that's worth following. I'm just going to go through those 8 points one more time. That Zach from the Harvard Business Review article on the neuroscience of trust says. Let's go through it again. 8 key management behaviours that build trust. Recognising excellence. In other words, catching people doing things right, catching people doing things well, very well. 2, creating healthy challenges. Guys, this is going to be a stretch. Let's see what we can do over the next week or 10 days or 90 days. Healthy challenges. 3, granting autonomy. Mate, you're in charge of this. This is you. You make decisions on it. Go for it. So what's that? Recognising excellence 1, creating healthy challenges 2, granting autonomy 3, supporting job customisation, customising the job so that it works for you. 4, 5, sharing information. I'm going to share it. Everyone's got the same information here. I'm not hiding and keeping it in corners. Nurturing relationships, building relationships, getting to understand them about their kids or their families or their sport or their problems. Fostering personal growth. Guys, I want everyone to be developing themselves, their communication skills, their written skills, their presentation skills, setting goals, reducing stress, meditating, exercising, looking at yourself, understanding your personality better, understanding your emotional intelligence, understanding self-management better, how to play to your strengths, how to row your boat gently down the stream with the current instead of constantly always feeling like you're swimming against the current. And then the final one there, embracing vulnerability. Hey, listen, I'm not perfect. I need your help. How do we do this together? Let's learn together here, because I want to play this at A grade level, not Z grade level or B grade. Let's be the best we possibly can be. Great article, I think. As I said, Inc. magazine today, Harvard Business Review. According to Neuroscience, the best leaders are the most vulnerable. How vulnerable are you willing to be? Want some help with all of this, with you and your leadership team? I was saying to a group today, the problem with super strong leadership is often they don't develop the next generation. And of course, one day that leader is gone and there's a leadership vacuum. And that's an indictment on that leader. I remember Sir Charles Court was a great Liberal Premier here in Western Australia. Some would argue otherwise, but many would say he was. But he was such a strong leader, he didn't build the next generation. And there was a massive vacuum, there was a massive gap when he left. And others would say the same with John Howard and others, and you can probably think of plenty of situations around where the leader hadn't developed the next generation. I mean, certainly now in AFL football teams, there's a leadership group and there's the senior leaders and the junior leaders, so that there's... And of course, if you think about a primitive tribe, our indigenous family members, the Aboriginals here in Australia, constantly building elders. Elders were identified as early as 10, and they went through a whole lifelong process of what it is to be an elder, what it is to be a leader, so that there was always a next generation of leaders and elders coming through. Same with General Electric. I said this with a mate today. Jack Welch ran his leadership program. He opened it. He sat in it. He said, this is what I want from my leaders. And then there was mentoring programs within GE so that the leaders had mentors to mentor them in the GE way of leading, which is different than managing. Managers manage the status quo beautifully. Leaders transform and grow and go from where we are to someplace better. And so leadership is about inventing the future and then making it happen. Look, you want to find out more, do touch base, because we talk about our mission is putting wings on your business, wings on your people, wings on your leaders, wings on your ecosystem, wings on your sales, wings on your results. And I don't just mean financial results, I mean the enjoyment factor, the satisfaction factor, the oxytocin factor in your business and in your life. If you like this, please pass it on to friends and colleagues, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next Leading Your Best Life podcast. I'm Lee Farnell. Thanks for listening.